Welcome to Expert Sessions by Xpert. This podcast aims to provide a platform for our partner professional organizations to promote lifelong learning outside the confines of traditional education. If you are a young professional looking to elevate your learning experience through bite-sized content from experts, then this show is for you. Get ready to explore and experience a different side of known professionals in the country, made by the experts for the experts. Hey everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Expert Sessions. Today, I have invited a co-host who's also one of my partners in events production, and it just so happens that he is also a podcaster. So, welcome, Brian.
Thanks, Eman, for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be on the very first episode of your podcast. Grabe, I'm so excited. Sino ba ang ating guest today?
So, for today, we have a very special guest, and let me introduce our guest for this episode. So, among her vast credentials are as follows. So, she is the past president of the Institute of Electronics Engineers of the Philippines, or ISEP, and a member of the Continuing Professional Development Council, chair of the Technical Committee for Electronics Engineering of the Commission on Higher Education, and past senior director for academic affairs and services of Far Eastern University Institute of Technology. She is also a past consultant for Delft University of Technology for the Netherlands program for the institutional strengthening of post-secondary education and training capacity. She is also the CEO of Delft Consultancy since 2019 with projects with Philippine Development Foundation for UNDP, UpGees Incorporated, and she is also the chairperson of Engineering Accreditation Commission of the Philippine Technological Council, and many more.
Grabe, ang dami. Pero balita ko
Hindi pa
may
yan.
mga awards din siya. Grabe.
So this is the
Bigatin.
awards. So garnering awards such as 2020 Outstanding Professional of the Year in the field of electronics engineering, awarded by the Professional Regulation Commission last December 2020. She was also awarded as the most outstanding electronics and communications engineer in the field of education for the year 2000, or the Millennium Awardee, awarded by the Institute of Electronics and Communications Engineers of the Philippines last September 6, 2000. And recently, she was awarded Excellence Award and Distinction Award in Research and Education by the Philippine Federation of Professional Associations last February 2000. And most notably, she received the Inspiring Filipina Engineer, awarded by the Philippine Technological Council Women Engineers Network last August 22, 2019. So let us all welcome a trailblazing woman in terms of leadership in the engineering profession, Dr. May Rose Imperial. Welcome,
welcome,
Doc.
Doc Rose.
Good afternoon, and nice to see you, Eman and Brian.
Do you mind us calling you Doc May na lang, no?
Yes, sure.
All right, Doc May. We're excited to have you on this podcast episode, the very first.
Surprise nga ako. Very first pala ito.
Very first, and you're the very
And
first.
ako din pala yung first,
First guest.
guest ninyo.
It means you're special.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Kasi
you
naman,
naman.
isa kayo sa mga tinitingala ko ng mga engineer in terms of the achievements, your accomplishments, and yung mga advocacies nyo with the engineering.
And so the topic for today is really all about empowered women in engineering. Pero Doc, I believe retired ka na, no? Tama ba?
Yeah, I did my early retirement prior to pandemic. Actually, like a month before the lockdown.
Mm.
I was enjoying my retirement, and then lockdown came.
Mm-hmm.
It was a blessing in disguise. If I did my retirement during the pandemic, I couldn't gotten all the benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at least when I did my retirement prior to the lockdown, I got all the benefits. May pabaon pa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Before your retirement, can you share us parang ano yung parang naging career journey niyo until you decided to retire?
Yeah, take us down memory lane. Kumbaga.
Siya.
Oo.
Parang kwan ito parang just like last Sunday, because I was also invited during the oath taking of the new electronics engineers. So I was telling them how I journeyed also my career. Yeah, I started out even before I graduated in college. I was already taken in as an account manager. Ang ganda ng pangalan,
Wow.
account manager, 'di ba? Yung pala sales executive na pala yun. Natawa ako sa sarili ko noon. I realized over the years, sabi ko, it was a very, 'di ba, pag bago kang graduate and then you were offered a job title of account manager. Wow.
Parang ang
Oo,
prestigious
Yes, and
pakinggan.
during the 80s, when you say manager, kasi manager, no? I graduated during the late 80s kasi. So, I started out as an account manager in a broadcast equipment company. So, I had the chance to really work around all of the TV stations, radio
Wow.
stations, providing them at least, the equipment. But thereafter, I needed to take the board
The board exam.
examinations. So I have to work Monday to Friday and then Saturday, Sunday, review. Pero sa totoo lang, wala akong nare-review during Saturday, Sunday kasi pagod na pagod.
Pagod ka.
Pagod na
Pahinga
pagod. True. So the only thing that I did in the preparation of my board exams was really put all the formulas in Manila paper. Uso pa kami in Manila paper, no?
Yeah.
Paste it all in the walls and then before I sleep, yun lang tinitingnan ko. Yan lang yung review ko. Talaga. Then, luck was on my side. I passed the board exams. I never aimed for top-notcher na kasi sabi ko, hindi naman ako prepared. Hindi ako, basta makapasa na lang ako. No? So, I passed the board exams. Pero yung katabi ko nung college na nangungopia lang sa akin. Top-notcher siya. Kaya sabi ko,
Yun lang.
siguro if I had the chance to really do a full-time review, baka naman mas mataas ang rank ko sa kanya.
Kumaga partida pa.
Yes,
May, diba?
partida. Sabi ko, nangungopia lang sa akin yan. Anyway, so after I passed the board exams, I met the dean of one of the universities and sabi niya, would you like to join a university? Sabi ko, I have no experience at all teaching but I can try. Sabi ko, but anything kasi basta there's challenge, grab ko yan eh. So sabi ko, parang kakaiba siya eh. So, sige sir, I'd like to join you. So fast forward, I stayed there for like 11 years and I was able to establish the full running department. And before I left, the program, the ECE program, was a center of development recognized by the Commission on Higher Education. And they had a grant. Before kasi when you are identified as a center of excellence or development, merong may binibigay yan na grant. No? So for a certain period, like for 3 years, CHED will give you an amount for 3 years. Ganyan. Then thereafter, the dean who actually, recruited
Took you
me,
in, yeah.
took me in. Sabi niya, May, would you like to join me? Sabi niya, saan tayo pupunta, sir? Ayun na naman, no? Saan tayo pupunta? We will establish a new college. College. Dati, I was invited to just, produce just one program. Ito na, buong college, multiple programs. Sabi ko, magandang challenge ulit yan. So when we only started, dalawa lang talaga kami. I was the overall registrar, the PA, lahat, guidance counselor, lahat. Ang hirap din. But sabi ko, basta may challenge, mas exciting. Doon ako nag-excel pag may challenge. So, fast forward, yes, we were able to establish the college kasi that university decided, prior to us joining, they decided to close kasi their Institute of Engineering or Technology. They call
Anong
it
college po
technology.
to, ma'am?
College of Engineering ng Far Eastern University. Yes. During the early 90s, they decided to close kasi their institute. They call it Institute of Engineering. Kasi when they transferred their engineering from Moraita to Diliman campus, the student population really went down.
Dwindled.
Yes.
Population.
So when the Reyeses had the chance really to take their own parang turf na kasi naghiwalay yung hospital sa university. So the hospital went to the Fairview campus. That paved way to a vacant building. So that was the time that FEU management thought of bringing back again engineering programs. So that vacant building, yung dati nilang hospital at saka yung dati nilang boys high school, yun, that's where we started the College of Engineering. That
So yun po yung point na hinatak ka na
Oo.
you wanna establish a college?
Yes, yan, di ba? Parang sabi ko, oh sige, another challenge yan. So, I joined them 2001 together with my dean. He was the dean. So, in-establish namin yung college with 4 programs. Well, the long-term, marami din palang plano ang FEU that time. They wanted to buy out another college and merge it with us. Kaya pala, completely independent kami from the university. So, yun yung naging So, from there, ayun, rose from the ranks until becoming the senior director of, academics and the services and all. So, it was really something. But, ang turning point ko actually was, I was doing already the technopreneurship program, and one of my colleague lang in that particular program, sabi niya, Doc May, are you really sure that you're happy in what you're doing here? Sabi niya, you know what? I see you that your playground is so small. Alam mo, napaisip ako eh. Kaya pala minsan, hindi nila nga ako naiintindihan. Kasi nga, maliit nga yung playground ko. So that's where, that was the turning point really. And sabi ko, yeah, I can do more on a wider scope. Maybe not just on this campus. On a wider, arena. Or environment.
Exactly.
Or playground, sabi nga, this is a very small playground for you. Paulit-ulit niyan sinabi sa akin. And he was a very young guy. Sabi niya sa akin. But that struck me really. Sabi ko, oh nga no. What about my dream of coming up with my own consultancy firm? What about my, doing a lot of things for my profession, for the next generation? So that prompted me really to, take off, have a leap of faith. Sabi ko, I can do this. Yes, and explore. Kahit alam ko wala akong full-time na trabaho, sabi ko, I can do it.
Pero Doc May, before we get to yung point forward na yun, moving forward, kasi how I experience you right now, you're always up for the challenge.
Yep.
Ano ang pinaka malaking challenge na tingin mo sa buhay mo na hindi mo subok akalaing nalagpasan mo? Anything that you remember or naalala mo?
Madami. I mean, whenever you take a post kasi, maraming challenges na kasama
challenge
yan.
na
Ang daming responsibilities.
Paano ko na
Iniisip ko nga paano nga pala ako nakarating doon?
Yeah.
Iniisip ko pa nga when I was, also elected as the president of the electronics engineers. Sabi ko, paano ako na-elect na president? What did I do that made them, inspired really to have the confidence and vote for me and all of those things. Parang minsan niisip ko rin. So, probably you will come to a point that you have to also reflect and see what you have done. And at the same time, you ask yourself, have I done much? Was I able to help a lot of people? Were you able to somehow fulfill your mission? Kasi unang-una talaga kailangan alam mo kung ano yung mission mo.
Yes.
Parang what is your why?
Yes, di ba? Everything parang Nescafe lang. Saan ka gumigising? Di ba? Sorry
Para kanino ka bumabangon, Doc May?
Para kanino ka para
bumabangon? Gumigising ka bumabangon, sige.
Pero hindi tayo sponsored na to.
Oo nga, sabi ko nga, sorry.
Okay lang po. Pero yeah, knowing your why talaga, it helps you go to the direction you want.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hindi kung
yeah.
saan-saan lang tayo.
Yes, yes.
And I feel like yung nagsasabi sa'yo na playing in a small playground,
Uh-huh.
parang blessing in disguise yun eh. Parang angel din kahit paano pinadala na
Yes.
sign for you.
Yeah, actually, at that point, sabi lang niya kasi sa akin, ma'am, well, she was actually encouraging me to join kasi nung foundation nila.
Okay.
So, but the selective lang yung yung pinakinggan ko, sabi niya. Sabi ko lang, nga no. It was really a reflection sa akin na maliit nga yung aking playground.
Mhm. Pero nung mga year po na yun, di ba, parang noon ba marami na ring mga parang women engineers during your time?
Oo nga, gusto kong tanungin yun. Kasi parang, ako, sorry just to give context lang din for ako, I graduated electronics engineering. So, unti nga lang talaga ang babae sa engineering. So, doon time po ba na yun, nung time na when you were still studying, marami na po bang women engineer din ng time na yun?
I think marami on selected programs. Like marami sa chemical engineering. I really don't know why. Kasi chemical, chemistry, and industrial engineering. So marami ang babae doon. During our time when I took up college. Kaya lang, probably you may even ask bakit ako nag-engineering.
Yes. Bakit nga ba? Doc?
Bakit? Well, when I was in high school, ito nagkwento na was in high school, sabi ng father ko kasi, sabi niya, naiinis siya dun sa kanyang general manager who's also an engineer. And then sabi niya sa akin, mag-aaral ka nga na maigit, palitan mo yung general manager namin. Tapos engineer. Sabi ko, engineer? Kaya ko kaya yun? So sabi ko, and I really am up to challenge. So sabi ko, nga no, mag-engineering nga ako para maiba lang. And in our peer, kasi di ba may mga, when you're in high school, magkakaibigan. No? Pag girls, ganito, ang gusto namin, ganito, nursing, mga Sabi ko, gusto ko maiba. Kaya ako nag-engineering talaga. So yun. And then, I started out in choosing yung program na kakaiba. And during the early 80s, di ba? Electronics engineering. Kakaiba yun, di ba?
May boom din ng ECE talaga eh.
Oo, talagang kakaiba. Sabi ko, gusto ko rin yun, kakaiba.
Yan din sinabi sa akin ng dati ko.
May challenge, kakaiba.
Uh-oh.
So, that's where I really ended up with electronics engineering. Pero that time, yung old law pa kami, electronics and communications engineering.
Yes.
Yan.
Pero how was it as a women engineer in your time? Parang, are there any, parang do you have any experience na parang mas, sa tingin nyo ba, parang mahirap din ng pagiging
are there
women
common
engineer?
preconceptions about,
Yeah,
people?
when I was in the broadcast, ang hirap kasi when you go sa actual na transmitter
Fieldwork.
site,
Fieldworks,
field, talaga yung actual broadcasting where you do all of the equipment and everything. Parang mahirap pag babae. Feeling nila kasi pag babae, yung parang pwede kang bastusin ng mga technician, yung mga ganon. May ganon silang perception. Pero ako naman, kaya ko to.
Malakas ang loob. Pero have you experienced that?
No.
You've seen people experience that?
Somehow, yes. But, well, hindi naman kasi directly na ako yun. So, yun yung
Yeah.
Yun yung
And it's a challenge for women at that time. Knowing na maybe there's some sort of judgment din. Na, hindi niya kayang gawin to.
Yes. Especially pag yung maakyat ka na ng tore.
Oo.
Sabi ko, laki ako ng Baguio. Kayang-kaya kong makyat.
Ganun ka. Ang tanong mo nila sa kanila, akit ka dyan. Ang tanong mo is, gano'ng kataas ba yan?
Yun. Ang tanong ko nga, kaya nyo ba yan? Yun ang tanong ko. Ako kaya. Kung tanongin nyo ako, kaya ko yan. Kayo, kaya nyo?
Sobrang palaban na si Doc Way.
Pero sa ngayon po ba, parang parang may nakita kayong parang difference between noon or ngayon? Parang sa ngayon ba? Parang how do you find the women in engineering and science based on your parang your interactions with other women?
Dito kasi sa Philippines, medyo nag-open up na ang yung gender bias natin.
Yes.
Especially for male-dominated professions.
Exactly.
So it was really good because we have a lot of laws also protecting women.
Yes.
So parang maganda, naging maganda. Over the years, I've seen it grow. And whenever we present sa international conferences about women engineers, they look up to the Philippines. The Philippines really. Sabi nga nila, buti kayo, wala kayong problema. Meron lang konti na medyo may naiiwan pa, especially in the mining.
Mhm.
Kasi kukonti talagang mga mining engineers na babae. And in the construction. But hindi na masyado ngayon because of modern technology. Before kasi talagang kailangan umakyat ka, no? But this time with drones and everything, hindi mo na kailangan umakyat. Pwede mo nang gamitan ng mga gadgets.
Tingin niyo, Doc Rose, bakit kaya, and this is just a question na I'm throwing out there.
Mhm.
Why do you think that most women need to have credentials in engineering profession
Mhm.
to somewhat be recognized? Or there's this sense of I need to prove para alam mo yun, be on top of there.
Credentials? Hindi naman. Ang sa akin lang kasi ipakita mong kaya mo.
Mhm.
And when they see you na kaya mo, hindi ka naman nila, they won't look down on you pag
Mhm.
nakita nilang kayang-kaya mo.
Mhm.
Pero
It's
never nyo naman po parang na-feel na parang you have to prove yourself. Kasi
No.
babae ka. Parang you
No.
have to double the effort.
No,
Wala naman.
no,
grabe.
no.
Excellence kasi to si Doc May.
Kasi
So parang wala
talaga-
na masabi sa'yo, no? Gagalingan mo talaga ang todo.
Oo, todo. Kasi, look, yung, balikan ko yung tanong mo, very challenging. Naalala ko
Naalala mo na. Oh, di ba? Sabi meron talaga.
Meron.
Meron yan.
During my first few years in the education, no? So, 3 years pa lang ako.
Mhm.
Yung sabi ko nga, ginalingan ko talaga. Imagine nyo, in 3 years time, I was already appointed as the assistant chair for the EE, Electrical Engineering and ECE department in that particular university. Ang tanong ko sa sarili ko, bakit ako?
Mhm.
So, that time, mga faculty ko was twice of my age. I was only 25 years old when I was
Wow.
appointed. So that was really a big challenge for me. How can I even convince a 50-year-old electrical engineer, a professional electrical
follow you,
engineer, to
right?
follow me? Ako yung boss nila na very young at 25 years old. That was really something. But I didn't want to prove myself because of credentials and
Yeah.
everything. I just showed them how I work. And, may charisma din minsan kasi being, woman engineer. Pag hindi mo mapasunod, nako, may konting lambing lang yan.
Lambing.
Pero at the end of the day, sumusunod sila. And I was really happy at that point in time. But it took me of course, may struggle din yan kasi yung mga kasabayan mo, ang tingin sa iyo bakit siya, hindi ako? Yung mga ganon,
yes,
di ba?
exactly.
Yung mga male counterpart ko noon na talagang
Mhm.
mga electrical engineers pa. Kasi the mother department then was electrical engineering. So parang since bago yung program, nandun lang nagsimula yung electronics engineering. Yung dun sa university na yun. So I think that was it. That was really a very big challenge for me. Isipin nyo lang, I was managing more than 30 or mga 35 faculty members.
At 25 years old?
Yes, and I was 25 years old. Tapos, yung department chairman namin, who was really talagang may edad na, iniwanan ako. Nag-leave. Dahil maternity leave niya. Babae din kasi, electrical engineer. Nag-leave siya. So I was left alone. That was really something. Pero that was really also a turning point for my career in management. Kasi dun nag-start.
You would even say, actually, yung level of excellence mo, nahone ka dun eh.
Kasi,
At a young age.
yes, at a very young age.
So parang
Very, very
parang
inspired.
baptism of fire na. Parang,
Yes.
sige.
What exactly? Ang ganda ng
Baptism of
expression.
fire, 25 years old. I was still pursuing my master's degree. Wala pa nga ako master's degree. Kasi hindi na mauso noon eh.
Oo.
Hindi uso ang mga credentials. Basta talagang pakita mo lang na kaya mo at marunong ka. Ayan.
So, when you got out of ito na tayo, sa
Mm.
moving forward na tayo.
After retirement.
Oo. You're part of engineering education, right?
Yeah,
in a technical panel ng SHED?
Yes, the Commission on Higher
and you're chairman
Education.
of accreditation.
Yes.
So, ano ba initiatives ng engineering education?
For now, yes. Well, upcoming will be attending a meeting in the International Engineering Alliance. That is also a turning point for the Philippines, for us to be recognized as our engineering graduates to be co-equal with the members of Washington Accord. So, kasi right now, we're still provisional or even prior, no, nung hindi pa tayo nakapasok sa Washington Accord. Our engineering graduates, whenever they go abroad, they are, I should say, second tier.
Second year. So Washington Accord is like the gold standard? Ganun po ba yun?
Yes, for
Oh.
engineering graduates.
Okay.
So, yung mga graduates natin, no, instead na ang title nila is engineers, nagiging technologists or even technicians. The worst is they're regarded as technicians. So, if we will be able to somehow, make it this coming June, kaya nga ako medyo...
June 2023, yes.
Yes. We will be having a meeting on June 12 that week. No?
So really the purpose of engineering education is to elevate
Of course.
engineers in the Philippines.
Yes, our graduates.
Yes.
And the future engineers. For them to be mutually recognized by countries that are also members of Washington Accord.
So
Yan.
you're visiting schools para
Yes,
you can see and maintain yung level of standards,
Right.
international standards.
Right.
Doon sa mga visit nyo, ma'am, parang ano yung parang mga nakikita nyo parang glaring issues? Kasi di ba ang dami nating engineering schools as compared to other countries. So ano yung parang nakikita nyo parang mga major issues ng mga engineering institutions natin sa Philippines?
Glaring issues is that accreditation kasi is voluntary for the higher education institutions. So not all really aim for accreditation.
So optional siya. Hindi
Okay
required
lang.
na kailangan.
Oo, okay lang sa
i-check
kanila
lahat.
na at least may permit sila to operate. Hanggang dun na lang. But if they're aiming for excellence, then they go accreditation. Like when your school, they are also accredited by
Yes.
PTC because they wanted to have a gold standard.
Yeah.
No, ganun. So, well, yung iba naman talagang especially for state colleges and universities kasi di ba may mga categories din yan. Yung mga medyo napag-iwanan, wala kasi sila talagang budget. And that really sometimes for us, no, when we visit them, ako kasi nagvi-visit din yung mga when they are applying for certificate of program compliance, we call it COPC, para continuously they can offer the program. We would see that they lack equipment, yung ganun. Kulang sila ng funding.
So meron naman din po talagang gusto pero kulang ng funding.
Yes, kulang ng funding.
So that's
Mga
also an
ganun.
issue na
That's an
you're looking
issue
into.
na mahirap isolve eh. Hindi na siguro parang peace on earth yan. When you wish for peace on earth, eh, di ba?
Yes.
Parang ang hirap isolve yan. But hopefully, in the next or even the future, even the politicians would have to really look into this. Na sana, mas malaki ang funding nila for education.
And siguro po, just wanna ask, kasi you mentioned about international standards, Washington Accord. And dahil nga ando tayo sa parang second tier at the moment, how do we compare ba to other countries? What do you see na sana ganito rin dito sa Philippines?
Yeah. Dati kasi, when we look at our basic education kasi, tayo yung last 3 countries that went into K-12. Alam niyo ba yun?
Yes.
Alam niyo ba yun? Doon tayo lagi natatalo. Ang engineers natin, kaya naman nare-recognize abroad because it's a 5-year degree program. So, 10 years plus 5, it's already 15. Pero the norm is 16 years. So, pag sinaman mo ng konti ng kindergarten, actually, parang 16 years na rin yun.
Yes.
Ganon. So, parang, in a way, nare-recognize na rin yung mga ibang engineers natin. But, you know what I have seen, international and versus our local. Sa international kasi, 70% is state-owned.
Mm.
So all of the
Yeah.
budget
Yeah.
is coming from the state.
From the state.
Baliktad tayo.
70%.
70% naman ang private.
Private.
And when we talk about private institutions, they only are working with their own means.
They're
So-
operating based on, di ba?
Yes,
If it's-
kung magkano yung tuition fee nila, yun lang
Mm,
Yun
yun.
lang yung...
And eventually, of course, even the services sometimes is
a
also
sacrifice.
relative to the amount of the tuition fee.
Yes.
It's a reality.
Mhm.
Pero based dun sa mga na-mention nyo na parang mga issues nga, parang meron ba tayong pwedeng gawin on how to elevate pa natin yung engineering education and become, yun nga, parang we produce quality engineers?
Yeah, that's what we're doing now in the Philippine Technological Council, particularly the Accreditation and Certification Board for Engineering and Technology, where we're creating that particular standards. And of course, we are working on really or seeing HEIs that they are implementing the outcomes-based education. So sana lahat naman ng higher education institutions, they should be also in that bandwagon of new style
The
of
direction, no?
delivering the engineering programs. Ganon.
Tapos ma'am, recently, sige pa, nasa topic na rin tayo ng engineering education, di ba? Yung parang pinaka-recent nyo na parang naging achievement with the PTC and the PTC Women Engineers is you got a grant from USAID. Can you tell us more
Yes,
about...
I'm excited. I'm
Share to us. Share
excited.
to the people.
Yes, I'm really very excited because last March 8th of 2023, we were granted a funding from the USAID. The program is WISER, or that's Women Engineers in Sustainable Engineering for Renewable Energies. So because the project is actually focused on renewable energies, what we really wanted is they wanted to increase more women engineers into renewable energies. But if you have to look at the problem, sabi ko, bakit nga ba kukonti ang nasa renewable energies? The problem is that if you have to advertise or encourage engineers already, practicing engineers into renewable, kukonti yan. So what I pitched with USAID is that why don't we start senior high school? Okay? And promote engineering as a career. And later on, of course, all of the engineering naman, kahit anong field na engineering, maski pa paano related yan sa renewable energy. Chemical engineering about chemicals, that with the cells of the solar cells na ginagamit sa mga panels and so on. So, in a way, magkakarugtong lahat ng engineering program. So sabi ko, why don't we start the engineering campaign? Senior high school pa lang. So, the program is more of promoting now the engineering to the senior high school, at least an increase of those who will be taking up engineering. Ngayon, ayaw naman namin ng may inclusivity na parang women na lang, girls na lang. So, in general, we'll be doing that for all. No, for all. Then, we'll just do our own database na lang just to see whether there's really an increase for women. But of course, what that will be doing, we will be doing that for 2 years, and it's well funded. Yeah,
exciting times.
With 10 cities, because USAID is also they have identified key cities, key development cities they call it. So, dun kami magko-concentrate din. Yeah.
Exciting times.
So, yung advocacy ulit. Diba? Parang new
Yes.
challenge. Sabi nga ni
Oh, yeah,
Mano,
no
new challenge
challenge. In fact, we've been doing that for the Women Engineers Network. Kaya lang, pa isa-isa lang. Kasi
Mm.
nga, sabi
Kasi-
namin, kailangan dumami ang ano ba yung mga medyo mahihina, hindi naman mahihina, o maliliit na programs. We have sanitary engineering, kukonti pa ang kumukuha. Geodetic engineering, ayan. Medyo kukonti. Well, nag-increase na rin ang agricultural and biosystems engineering. They're also picking up. But they need help, of course,
Yes.
na chemical engineering. They thought kasi chemical engineering napakahirap, no? So, we just have to introduce the program. Metallurgical engineering.
Metallurgical.
Eman. Kukunti
Siya po ay
kumukuha.
metallurgical engineer.
And in fact, yung panganay ko nga wanted to pursue before metallurgical engineering, pero napunta siya sa aeronautical engineering. Yan, aeronautical engineering,
Oo, konti din yung mga
kukunti. So,
Mhm.
talagang it's really something that we wanted to promote, the engineering career.
Mhm.
Ayan.
What a good advocacy. And I believe you have an upcoming conference this
Yes.
August. Tama
And
ba?
related na rin dun sa aming grant, we wanted to launch formally also our project. So we will be having our Philippine Women Engineers Summit. This is the seventh summit on August 3 to 5 at Century Park Hotel. Ayan.
And then open na ang registration, tama ba?
Yes, open na ang
Please do invite
registration.
them.
And of course, please register through Xperto, our partner.
provider,
Over
yes.
the years na we saw Xperto grow. Nag-grow din siya together with the Women Engineers Network. Oo. We were one of the first few clients din ni Xperto.
What are they expecting if you want to address the people who are watching? What are they expecting to learn or get through the conference that you're
Ano ba
having this
mga
August?
yung theme nyo for ano?
Yes,
Yes.
ang theme namin is also related to our USAID project. So it's more of renewable energies and technologies. So how women work in this area. And we will be, of course, inviting several dignitaries from the Department of Energy, from the Energy Regulatory Commission, and of course from USAID, we will be inviting them.
As well.
Ayan.
Ayan. So, pero open ba siya for hindi sa mga men?
Pwede
Mga
rin.
engineers?
Sabi nga namin, wala nang inclusivity.
Walang for women lang.
Kaya nga yung mga ini-invite namin, we also invite male speakers. Akala kasi nila kailangan
Oo,
women din yung
exclusive
yung speakers. So, yeah. And everyone, sabi nga namin, no age, no gender requirement.
Wow.
Ayan. So, ayun. That will be in August. So, yan. The theme is on renewable energy. So, if you're very much interested to be part of the Philippine Women Engineer Summit in August, so yun, register na kayo.
Alright. Paano ba sila makaka-register doon?
Punta lang sila sa app.xperto.ph, app.xperto, xperto.ph, and then look for the Philippine Women Engineer Summit. So, andun siya sa mga events doon.
Tapos click nyo na lang. And
Yeah.
then you can register.
Then register. And then we're doing hybrid.
Yes, oo.
Oh, hybrid.
Yes.
Nice.
On-site
and of course,
and
you
online.
also get your certificates, right?
Yes. Yeah, with certificates na that they
Grabe,
can use
napaka-
for...
And we will be applying also for CPD.
Ayan.
Mm.
Sa anong mga programs po yung parang i-apply for CPD?
For now, of course, we'll be applying for ECE and the rest. Tingnan namin kung saan namin
They will
i-apply.
update you
Yeah.
through the
Ayan. So, may
website as
automatic
well.
CBT points na sa mga mag-a-attend.
Ayan. Napaka-convenient talaga with Xperto.
Yes, yes.
And I think we've exhausted all our time.
Mhm.
We're so happy that you're part of this very first episode. And I'm happy to be part of this as well as your co-host, Eman. And I think this is going to be a game changer for professionals in the country.
Mhm. Again,
And thank you also for inviting me. I really didn't know that I was your first guest also. I'm so privileged.
Yes,
And
syempre
thank
naman.
you, Eman and Brian for the invitation.
Thanks, Doc May, for also accepting our invitation. And hopefully, sa mga future episodes, we can also, again, invite you
Yeah,
Init ka na sa oras ng
any
podcast.
topic on my areas, pwede kayo
Thank you.
mag-invite. Yeah.
Thank you for learning with us in this episode. If you are an organization planning to have a streamlined event management system so that you can mount your events worry-free, you may reach us via the link or the QR code shown on your screen. It's time for you to experience the digital transformation and automation with a single press of a button. We will see you on the next episode.